What up, y'all? RC here, and I'm a Turo power host out here in Las Vegas. We've scaled a fleet of over 20 plus vehicles, over 1,000 trips in almost 2 years now. And what I want to do is just do a quick breakdown on this Turo car rental biz, and we're going to really get into the meat of everything. So, if this is something for you, you might be just getting started, or you have a couple cars, you're looking to scale, you're wanting to pretty much do a pulse check on your business to make sure you're doing it correctly and to really just lay down the foundations. I've learned so much. I've failed a lot. I've made a lot of wrong decisions, but really they're just learning decisions. I once heard that the hardest teacher is experience, right? But the best teacher is wisdom. So I'm going to drop some wisdom, give you guys, and really lay a foundation. Maybe you're thinking about starting a car rental biz, or you've already started, you're looking to scale, take it to the next level. This is going to be a lot of foundation on what route you should go. Cars that are cash, finance, what is the car buying process like? And what are the insurance? What insurance should I get? What trackers should I get? I'm actually going to reveal to y'all my actual trackers that we've been using and the pros and cons on that. So this is a full deep dive. I want to get right into it. I hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks so much for just being part of the journey. This is a free Turo course, car rental biz course, step by step to get you launched, get you going. And then also, if you've been in the game for a minute, it'll probably allow you to reevaluate your systems, your plan, and where you're trying to go with this model. So let's tap in. All right, so building a Turo rental car fleet the right way. All right, the right way. How can I actually make sure I'm doing this the right way? These are cars that we got when we first started and scaled. We've sold a couple, kept a few. We're still running with a couple of these cars that you see in the background. And this is the journey started. I always love this picture because this reminds me of how my journey started. So why get started renting cars? Okay, we're going to ask a couple questions. Are you here to make more money? Are you here to create cash flow? Number 3 is, are you here to earn cash for a more upgraded lifestyle? Do you want to create more time to do a non-business related activities? Increase independence and flexibility? Do you want to have more time with family in the future? Do you actually want to build a car rental company? Why get started? Why get started? I think it really drives with the why. You always got to understand why, because again, you'll figure out the what when you have a strong why. We've probably heard that. Why stands for what's hurting you, what heals you. So why are you trying to get started? Again, some people just be real. I'm trying to make more money. I'm trying to create more money for myself because I just want an extra few $100 a month. Be real, and it'll start to align with your goals and evaluate when you're running this operation day by day. Now, let's talk about some do's and don'ts that I wish I knew, okay? Do's and don'ts. Do not start with financing. Don't start with financing. Buy a cash car or use a personal vehicle so you can test the business model. This was a big mistake for us because we just started it right away. We didn't start renting our own vehicles. We just started financing right away. Now, people can call me all sorts of things and say, hey, you messed up. We've already had different business models, so we've been able to leverage and run the play. I've already had, you could say, business acumen. But again, this was a different model. So if you guys are just getting started, and depending on your risk, I wouldn't start with financing. I'd start with a cash car or a vehicle that I already had and just test the business model. Test to see if you like it. Test to see if it's good to run and slowly start to scale from there. Cool? Don't think that the dealerships care about you either. They are not your best friend, nor do they have your best interest at heart. Okay. Also, they don't need to know you're running a Turo car rental biz. You don't need to mention that. These are things for an MO for them, especially because they're just salespeople, right? They just want to make quotas. They want to make commission. And also, I believe there's some that genuinely want to help you, but just know they don't have your best interests at heart, okay? Don't think about that. Do not go into dealerships without having a plan and the exact car you want to check out. I've seen this multiple times. They're trying to sell you another car that they want to move and push, but you already should have done your research, called them ahead of time, said, this is the car I'm looking at. Go in with a plan. Don't go in without a plan. Don't feel overwhelmed or stressed when problems arise. It's part of biz. It is what it is, but this will come. Trust, okay? Trust, it will come, especially in the car rental business. Don't ever feel overwhelmed or stressed when problems arise. Know how to rule your spirit and your emotions. Really, business is about learning how to manage your emotions. Do Find a car before going into the dealerships. Know what car you want before you step into any dealership to save time and not be straight away. Have a plan. Know what car you want to check out. Do your research on the car, the value. Again, this is if you're going into dealerships and you see that it's a good deal. Okay, find a car before going into the dealership. Just know and have a plan so you don't just get straight away by everyone's plans and they start to get you into other vehicles that you had uh, no business trying to get into those vehicles. Do stay organized. I'll give you my systems and my templates at the end of this this video. Okay, so stick until the end. I'll make sure you guys get access to that. Do know your current employment status. Okay, and I'll break this down right here. Know your current employment status. If you're a W-2 employee, this is an example. I make $90K a year. I worked there for 3 years. I lived here for 3 years, and I'm not putting down payment. Know this right away. Obviously, when it comes to banks being able to lend you money, right, for these loans, they want to know how much you make, how long have you been there. They want to see that commitment. They also want to make sure that you're committed to staying and living in a specific address, and then know that, hey, I'm coming in. I'm not putting any money down. Okay. Go for a no money down option. Some will not say it's possible. If they continue to be insistent, just don't put money down. You don't need to. Just be real. I'm not putting money down. And even though they're going to say, well, we could get you a better deal or lower this, no money down. Okay. Again, this is all my opinion. I'm not here to give you guys financial advice either. This is my opinion. Everyone's going to have a different play. I'm just giving y'all foundations and basics on getting going and getting started. Entrepreneur, business owner. People that have 1099s. Hey, I make $130K a year. My business has been running for this amount of years, 4 years. I'm not putting down payment. Okay. Some banks will want to see returns and some won't. For a couple banks, as I was buying, they wanted to see returns. Some didn't. They automatically just approved me, but some actually wanted to see my bank statements so they can approve. Okay. So I had to show, just for a few of the vehicles, I had to show bank statements. They're going to ask for up to like 3 months bank statements, depending on how much you're making, where you're at, and what the loan is for. Okay. Now, planning my car rental strategy. Okay. What are the risks and the rewards? I want you guys to just think about these. Again, you guys can go back, screenshot a lot of these. What's your monthly income? What are your current expenses? Do you know your numbers? Do you know your personal numbers for monthly income and expenses, how much you need to eat a month? You just need to know your numbers. Okay. Do you know your numbers from personal to business expenses? Do you have a car that you can rent? Do you already have one that you can just test? Do one or two and say, wow, I like this model. I think I can keep doing this and getting another car. Do you need to buy a car for rental biz? How good is your credit to get a finance car? How much do you save a month and how much do you invest a month? Again, these are just great questions to ask yourself as you're thinking about your car rental strategy. And we got to be real with where we're at. If you're not good with finances and money, go find a simple calculator that's going to help you just be disciplined with money and calculate your numbers. Okay. Ask these questions as you're starting your car rental strategy. This is your risk versus reward. This is how you guys are going to know. Now, your car rental business plan, you're going to ask a couple questions. Are you going to buy a cash car or use an existing car? So you say, hey, I'm planning to use my existing car to start off as a car rental. How many cars do you want to start with? I plan to start with 2 cars. I plan to start with my 1 car that I have to test. I don't really use it much. I work from home, right? I can get it picked up down the street. How many cars do you want to start with? How many cars do you want to grow to? I always think about, if you guys ever read that book by Stephen Covey, right? It's the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the very first ones is begin with end in mind. So I plan to grow to 10 plus vehicles in the future. Again, these are all these questions we want to ask ourselves, and we're not always going to have the answers, and it's not always going to be concrete, but we want to have a vision, right? I want to be able to know, is this my intention on where I'm going? Okay. How many hours per day? Are you full-time or part-time? Do you plan to start off part-time, 3 hours a day, and eventually get to full-time operations? Again, great questions to ask when you're thinking about your car rental business plan. Financial goals. I'm planning to just pay off my car note and make an extra income. Planning to make a full-time income renting cars. Where are you at? I want to pay my car note, pay the insurance, and also I want to make a few $100 that I can pocket and save and put into another investment portfolio, put into stocks, start investing into ETFs, whatever it is, right? What are your financial goals? Client acquisition and bookings. I plan to use the Turo platform to book for guests, right? This is where you do market research. You start looking in your local marketplace. What are a lot of cars out there that are having high bookings, right? You start doing your market research. Rental location. I'm planning to have my cars be picked up by guests at the lot down the street. Again, you don't want them to pick it up at your house. I have a lot of videos I talk about that. Do not do it, okay? Exit strategy. After 1 year, I plan to reevaluate my business plan based on the opportunities. I will either stay with a handful of vehicles or scale further, okay? After 1 year, I plan to reevaluate my plan. It's okay to reevaluate your plan every year. We let go of a few cars that we saw that we can sell because the market's looking good. And then we're looking at like, okay, we should probably reinvest and buy some cash cars because we want higher cash flow. Evaluate your business plan yearly. All right. Now, let's evaluate your situation. And this is all my opinion and through my lens. If you're one person with a full-time job, I don't think you can handle more than 4 cars. I've seen people that handled more. That's fine. You got to evaluate your situation, see where you're at, see what the bookings are looking like. Are you doing contactless? Do you want to meet up with them? How are you doing it? Are you close to your job? Do you work from home? Again, I personally think the average person, one person with a full-time job can do more than 4 cars. A 2-person team with full-time jobs, I don't think they can do more than 10 cars. With an extra person, there's so much more leverage, okay? There's so much more leverage with just an extra person versus a 1-person team because, again, it's just that extra person is just like, it just gives you that extra flow. Okay, so 2-person team with full-time job, and I'll give you guys our setup towards the end of this training, but 2-person team with a full-time job, no more than 10 cars. Again, evaluate your situation. Don't over leverage yourself. Now, our team has a schedule who's in charge of daily check-ins and checkouts. I assign somebody the day before based on our bookings. Sometimes we'll get same-day bookings. Whoever's in charge of the day, they're in charge of those same-day bookings that come within the hour. We allow bookings from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Sundays we're off. We allow 3 hours for drop-offs and 2 hours for pickups at our location. So if they want to drop off at our address or drop off at the airport, 3 hours, meaning if they book at 12 or they're trying to look for booking at 12 p.m., they can't, if they want an airport, they can't do anywhere before 3 p.m. It has to be at 3. They can modify if we're ready, but usually that's it if they're trying to do same day. And then if they're trying to pick up at our location within 2 hours, and we'll have the cars ready and available. You want monthly car wash stickers or at home, right? Are you going to wash your cars at home at a location you can do it for free, or do you want monthly car wash stickers? We have car wash stickers for all our vehicles. Where's your home location pickup? Again, you don't want to do it at home, okay? Do it like at the park down the street or at an address down at the corner. We have ours at a park down the street, and we've had ours also at our business address. So we've done different options because we just want to know what options are available and what works. We're always testing. And then how flexible are you with customer service? There's going to be sometimes on-demand emergencies, and are you flexible when it comes to customer service? Cool. By the way, for allowing the 3-hour drop-offs and 2-hour pickups, we just started implementing Turo Go on 2 vehicles. It's been doing extremely well, where they just go in within 30 minutes, they just book, and then they can pick it up in 30 minutes, and it's all contactless. I like and I enjoy the Turo Go experience. That's a whole nother thing. Evaluate your situation, y'all. Evaluate your situation. Now, again, as we're looking at our situation, I'm just reiterating this. 1 person, full-time job, no more than 4 cars. 2-person team with full-time job, no more than 10 cars. This is what I recommend. I'm just tossing it out there. Everyone's situation is different. Don't be black and white about these. Cool. Now, these are a few things I look at: check-ins, checkouts, times for bookings, time for instant bookings, car wash location, customer service. This is kind of like the whole sphere of like our day-to-day operation. And you guys will see all that when I give you guys the free templates, but just evaluate this, okay? And these are the settings that you're going to want to put when you're doing your settings for the vehicles and listing your vehicles. Now, let's get into it. I think this is always the big part, and that's why we're going to really dive deep into these cash cars versus finance, like the car acquisition process, okay? Pros and cons, cash cars. Pros, better ROI, possibly, right? You're not paying monthly, so if it makes $800, you're mainly pocketing 80-90% of that based on the maintenance. There's lower risk, so if it gets into a crash, there's definitely a lower risk to that. Why? Because you're not thinking about, oh, gap, all this stuff. You're not paying interest. Damage doesn't matter too much, right? Because it's, again, cash cars, lower type of vehicles, and lower depreciation. Cons, there's probably going to be maintenance often, okay, depending on the cash cars. That's why I'd go for the Toyotas, right? They're built to last, or the Hondas. More downtime, which means it might not get rented as much depending on what needs to get done. But also, you got to pay cash up front. So if you don't have that $4 to $7,000 to buy a cash car, it's you paying up front, and then it might be harder to get good reviews. We've been getting a lot of great reviews from the newer vehicles. Why? It's just better experience for the guests. So we built up our account pretty quick. Okay, so cash cars up front, or it's harder to get, and it might be harder to get reviews. But again, reviews comes back when it comes to you having a great experience with a customer, like over communication, making sure the check-in process is great, helping them at any inconvenience. You could always make that up with customer service. Finance cars. Pros, more revenue, lower repair downtime, because again, you probably might have warranties or whatever that is, okay, depending on what type of repairs they need. Lower initial investment, which means all you got to do is no down payments, but you do have the monthly car payments. Customer satisfaction and more great reviews. Again, this is what we experience. We have way more newer cars, finance vehicles on our fleet. Cons, paying interest, more depreciation, more risk, right? It definitely depreciates and there's a lot more risk. And cars do cost more to purchase. Again, if you're not getting great deals, you're just buying everything from dealerships, you're going to start to see a lot of these cons when it comes to the finance. And it is more risk. It's a bigger risk on our end. I mean, business is a risk in general. So that's the pros and cons with finance cars versus cash cars. Now, I just wanted to drop this here. Again, you guys can pause this, take pics of everything. Just kind of sharing with you guys the dealership buying process. So I just put everything down, look at everything. This is when they look at your credit, this is everything they're looking at. Credit scores, auto loan payments, history. What is the make, year, and model? What is the car price you're looking for? What's the vehicle's market value? They're looking at your proof of income, debt to income ratio, right? DTI, on-time payments, available credit. Do you have 2 years of stable employment? Have you been more than 2 years of stable address living there? Do you have any negative reports? Any inquiries? What is your oldest credit age? So these are everything they look at when they're evaluating if you can purchase this vehicle under credit. Then you get to choose the type of financing. I've pretty much gone through most of these, except the credit cards. I didn't go through credit cards, but it's possible. So you can do credit cards with 0% interest for 15 months. Again, it's up to you. I've done bank financing. I've done dealership financing. I've actually had manufacturer financing too. We've gone through, right? And sometimes going through BMW might be better than local banks, but I've rarely seen that, okay? Usually you'll see more of like the union banks and your local banks that will give you better rates. Online lending financing, building relationships with without credit checks, finance through LLCs. You can do stuff like that, leveraging other credits. And you can ask your banks questions. There's a lot of information about this. Again, I'm just kind of breaking down dealership buying processes in this part. This is all the info that the dealers are looking for, right? All the info, all that. This is the stuff that they grab. Again, check this out. I just want to give it to y'all just to bless y'all with this information, put it all in one. Car contracts. This is what you're going to be signing and what's on the actual car contract. Bill of sale. What car are you paying for? When do we owe it, right? And then the due bill we owe, meaning you can actually readjust the contract if needed. Hey, if you fix this, then I'll buy. There's a buyer's guide, agreement to provide insurance. There's the odometer disclosure statement, temporary license, vehicle registration, titles, tags, application, proof of insurance. With the proof of insurance, I've seen it where they just need to see that, hey, as long as you have proof of insurance, they'll let you drive it out and make sure you get insurance within 7 days. There's other times where I've walked out of dealerships where they need you to get it insured before you can leave the lot with it. Cool. So you'll know when you get to the dealership, they'll tell you what the criteria is. Last thing, a part of the process is gap insurance, mechanical warranty, and cosmetic warranty. You don't need mechanical and cosmetic warranty, especially when it's newer cars. That's me personally. I've canceled a lot of the mechanical warranties over the year and the cosmetics. It's not needed. Okay, gap you might want to because you never know. You drive that thing off, you're driving it, and then boom, right? Total loss. That's worst case scenario. I'd keep gap, nothing too crazy. But again, gap, there's always like pros and cons to it. People have different opinions around it. I personally say there's nothing to lose. Personally, that's just my opinion again. But mechanical warranty, after like a year or so, if the car's good, like it's just running, I'll usually cancel it. But again, do what you want. This is up to you on how you guys want to get the extra warranties that are tacked onto your you purchasing the vehicle. Now, this one is just real quick. You got to know the players in the game. Okay, when you're when you're building any business or whether you're in any industry, you have to understand the players that are in the game. Buyers, manufacturers, dealers, banks, insurers, state government, maintenance, mechanics, auto body techs. These are all the different players in the game to run a successful fleet because you're in the car rental industry. Okay, know the players in the game, y'all. Now, how to get cash cars. I've made it very, very simple. Private sales, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp. Be mindful, there are a lot of scams out there, so just be mindful, okay? But these are possible places to get cash cars. Auctions are another great place too, less likely to scam, but there's things where, hey, people say you might need a dealership's license, right? Well, if you actually sign up with Auto Bidmaster, and hopefully they have something local. So we sign up through Auto Bidmaster that goes to our local auctions. I think we're connected more to Copart. So we've bought 3 or 4 vehicles from Auto Bidmaster. So you don't need a dealership license to buy. This is open to the public. Or also you could just Google local car auctions, right, that are open to the public. And then you'll just pay fees. For Auto Bidmaster, I think it's a little over $100 a year to have it. But we bought a couple cars from there, sold them. We've done a lot of testing again. Okay, you guys can check. I have a lot of videos on my channel just kind of sharing our whole process. Make sure you have a trusted mechanic to help you check these vehicles. I think it's going to just save you money in the long term, and it will slightly lower the risk of you when you're buying these cars. Have somebody that actually knows what they're doing when it comes to purchasing vehicles and just cars in general. Yeah, that would really help, especially if you're going to cash cars, because you never know. There's people that are scammers on the marketplace, Craigslist and OfferUp. I've seen it multiple times, so just be mindful, y'all. Be mindful. Let's talk about GPS trackers. I'm going to show you guys all the GPS trackers. I haven't used them all, but I want to share the criteria of them. You want real-time date trackers, right? Up to date, meaning like you can see the car moving, see the car on. If so, you definitely want an app. This would help. Again, these are the best criteria. It doesn't have to have all of these, but these would help bring a peace of mind in your life and be worth you paying. Does it have a kill switch? Are there no contracts? Is the monthly payment, is it a good monthly payment deal? Is it simple to install, right? OBD, like sometimes you don't even want that though either because they can just easily pull it out. We've had renters that just pulled it out and doesn't need a battery charge. I've tested one, and I'll share you guys, but I tested one where it takes up to 2 weeks, and I had my X1, my BMW X1, and it was going out for 2.5 weeks. It died in the last few days because it can only last 2 weeks. But everything was good. Great renter overall. Again, these are just great criterias. It might not have all of these. If you guys find something that has all of these and it has a good monthly deal, sign me up. Sign me up, y'all. So let me give you guys a few. Now, a lot of these don't, or most of these don't have all those criteria. So you're gonna have to pick and choose and figure out what's the best. Links Up, Gold Star, Viper, Drone Mobile, Hum, One Step GPS, Apple AirTags. I'm starting to test Apple AirTags. I think they're a great way to just start. It doesn't have all the conveniences, right, of everything else, but I think they're pretty solid. And then Samsara. So you guys can look up all these companies, shop around for quotes, see what's best for you, and see how to install. I really like the Viper because it has a kill switch, but again, the downside is it's not easy to install, which makes it also easy to not just unplug from renters. So there's always upsides and downsides. Again, do your research, check it out, see what fits you and your style. Now let me share with you guys what we have. I don't think I've ever shared my tracker, and my tracker is Samsara. We've been using this for almost 2 years now. But here's the criteria of why I haven't recommended to a lot of people. You need 3 cars to start. And if you're planning to scale to 11 plus vehicles, it's going to be worth it for you. But also, you're going to have to be on a contract, right? I think it's a minimum 2-year contract. I think we're on a 3. And it costs like $400 or $500 and I'm putting Samsara on blast because I haven't had the best experience with canceling a few of our devices because we got way more than the amount of vehicles we have. And again, it's like $400 or $500 to cancel these. So that's per device. So I wouldn't recommend it because contract, and I wouldn't recommend it for any beginner unless you're really getting serious and you're serious about scaling this for like the next 3 to 5 years. Okay. So Samsara is what I use, what we use. It's great. It has, I'll show you guys what Samsara has. Does it have real-time data tracker? Yes. Does it have an app? Yes. Does it have a kill switch? No. That was another downside. No contracts? There's contracts. Another downside. Good monthly deal? Definitely good monthly deal. Is it simple to install like the OBD? It is simple to install. You just plug it in and then you wrap it around. So again, that's what makes it kind of hard, because if someone's really trying to steal the vehicle, they can just pull it. And that's why I recommend a secondary tracker, which would be more stealth, and Apple AirTag, but there's a lot other stealth ones if you guys are going more luxury. And then, does it need a battery charge? No, it charges or it operates through the vehicle's electric. Okay, that's Samsara. Cool. Hopefully that really enlightens y'all. Car insurance. Liberty Mutual, ABI, Lula Rentals, GMI. Check it out. I did another full video on my car rental experience when it comes to car insurance. I use Lula. I think Lula Rental is great. I think a lot of other hosts use Lula. Lula's great, but shop around, see if these other places give you, because you want car insurance that isn't I can't even think of the other ones. Geico, Progressive, they don't cover car rentals for you. They don't. Okay, so make sure you guys read the fine line. Like Geico, they don't even cover for if you get in an accident while you're doing Lyft or if you're doing any car sharing apps, third-party car sharing apps. It's in their fine line. They don't have Turo, but it's connected to that. Okay, so go ahead, make sure your car is insured. In most states, I know your individual car needs to be insured. If I have like 10 or 15 cars, every car needs to be insured that we're paying for monthly. Cool. Car insurance, that's what we use. Now, I'm going to go through the inspection, but I'm not going to go through like listing the vehicle and all that stuff and building out the descriptions. I think you guys can figure that stuff out. It's pretty simple. Like if you're trying to run a Turo fleet, that should be the easiest thing to do, because it's pretty easy to get started, get an account going. I'm just going to share with you guys what we inspect after. And I did multiple videos on this. We did a full inspection showing you guys what we do. I went with Eric and we showed you guys how we inspect our vehicles after every checkout. This is what we inspect after every checkout: fluids, tires, and brake pads and rotors. Okay, I think I spelled rotors wrong. Oh well. Fluids: oil, coolant, brake fluid, washer fluid, tires, tread, pressure. We want to always make sure we check that. And then brake pads and rotors, what are the percentage? Where are they at? We check these after every checkout. Okay, very, very important, because you want your guests to be safe, and you also want to make sure that your car is healthy and it can last long. Okay, again, I did a full video on how to do this. Like, we actually showed you guys in the car, in the engine, how to do these. All right, this is what Eric drops in our chat after every checkout of the day. I get a full chat of every vehicle. So this is for the 3 Series. Fluid's good, front tire's good, rear tire's good, front pads, rear pads, where are they at percentage wise? Air pressure's good, wiper blades. We also do check wiper blades as well. Cool. We had more. And all this stuff is in my free Notion template, y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I just want to say thank you. Grab my free Notion template below. It'll be the first link. And all you got to do, put in your email. I email it to you. It's all yours. And if you guys ever want to be like learning more stuff on what we do, I'm just here to kind of just give you guys my experience. I have over 100 plus videos on this YouTube channel on just car rental, my experience. So again, there's a lot of nuggets and gold. I just wanted to make a concise training that kind of hits everything and makes it in a, just straight line, A to Z. So hopefully this gave you guys some clarity and just some confidence in getting started. When I go in the finance vehicle route, I wouldn't pay more than $300 a month for a car note, because you got to also tack on insurance. So you're looking at anywhere from $400 to $500. I wouldn't pay more than $500 for a vehicle with insurance and everything else, like monthly, especially if you're going with the economy route. Like if that car barely makes $700, $800, maybe $1,000. But again, this is economy. I'd start with economy vehicles and slowly scale up from there. See what the market's like. Make sure you always have enough funds to pay off your car notes. Let's say if it's like not a pop-in month, because you're going to have your dry months for specific vehicles during specific times. Just get ready, okay? Again, make sure you guys drop that free Notion template. Get it. It's my whole systems, processes. I also show you guys how we keep track of all our mileage. It's a free Google Sheet. All that's free. You guys can have that. If you guys really enjoyed, all I'd ask is just hit the like button. You guys can sub if you guys want to learn more about this. I do mainly internet marketing. I want to talk a lot more about marketing. That's kind of like the business I'm going towards. I'm just sharing one of my business models, which is the rental car space. And it's been fun. It's been cool. I've learned a lot. But just sharing this has been exciting, and also to just be able to give you guys a lot of this knowledge and wisdom from my personal experience. I haven't bought courses about any of this, about the car rental. So a lot of what I'm sharing is just what I've learned, okay, through my experience. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to grow, learn new things in different industries, finance, credit. I've been an online marketer for over 5+ years, a handful of years of just learning in the trenches. I'm really passionate about that, helping clients at that scale, building my own stuff as well in the space, and just giving it all for free when it comes to the car rental space. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks again, y'all. Go back, take photos, do whatever you guys want, grab it. And again, any questions, maybe you guys can drop it below and I can possibly make a part 2. Y'all be blessed. Take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.